So there we go. Let's see how this is gonna be working out. Gonna be Oranos Oranos versus Oranos with Ghost Lake. So plenty of rating should be ensured. You can see that this is gonna be double gold spawn for the players. Apparently, both of them are gonna be a bit unsafe for Squash, so you're gonna have to be playing careful about it. Especially the one to the top is definitely unlucky. For Mikahei, he's gonna be having a bit of luck, as he does have some wood line right next to it. Right next to it, in here, as the one is gonna be completely safe. This one for Squash is a bit safer. That wouldn't be really saying completely. You can see quite nice little micro, and even using the tower to block the piggy. Very well done. Oh, he actually failed at the very end. Just still getting 2 hits in there, but still, very well done. Very well done in the end. He's gonna be saving plenty of damage to himself. You can, for example, right now compare it with Mikahei. He probably did something similar, but he lost about... No, maybe he didn't actually, because he lost plenty of hit points in there. Maybe even got a bit of help from TC to kill it. That's why he didn't lose even more. He lost about like 34, as opposed to Squash, who lost only 17. So basically like a double. Like full on double in them. So yeah, well, even those things can be making differences in the gameplay, obviously. I'm gonna be right now watching a bit of a gold mine on the left side with some berries available for Mikahei a bit later in the game, as you're gonna be checking. No, well, he's actually not gonna be getting the TC in there. He's gonna be having both TCs on the right flank, which is not entirely all that great, considering the fact that so far we don't see any kind of gold mine for him. And looking how it's spawning with all the hills. So Mikahei, not really good map so far that we see. Gonna have to really fight for the gold mine on the left side. As there's even another gold mine, and there is blue crystal shard for villager wood and gold get rates improvement. It's not bad. It's gonna be odd relic for food trickle in the middle. That's gonna be it for this map. As otherwise on the right side, this is gonna be a good map for Squash, not only because of the berries obviously, and even some extra hunt here, but because this TC, once he captures it, is gonna be giving him this gold mine. And unless there's something hidden in the very corner here, well, so far we can say that Mikahei is not gonna be having exactly the same advantage as his opponent is going to be. In the meantime, we are pretty much sure that Squash is not gonna be having extra gold on the left side. You can see that the TC is gonna be pretty much right now... No, protecting maybe trade route a bit later. That can be helpful in that regard, as going into this position from like about here in the corner. It doesn't have to be all that bad if the game is gonna be coming that late, which definitely it could. And let's gonna try to compare if maybe they are doing something different as far as build order, but I don't expect. They are probably gonna be doing fairly the same thing. And is he gonna be nicking him on his way? No, he's not. It's something that probably would be a bit more helpful if players started doing once they're basically gonna be noticing the Oracle, but maybe he just didn't notice him in there, and therefore he's gonna be getting away with it, so that they are not having all that easy time just basically moping around, and much more importantly, so that they are losing a few hit points before they're gonna be potentially valored. That is a bit of a gold for Mikahei, but unfortunately behind quite a thick wood line, so I don't think it can be considered all that safe. Probably not all that much, as you're gonna be checking 2 on food, 3rd on food on berries in there. Actually, right now 1 on goatees in the front. That's gonna be, of course, 1 build in temple. So he's looking for the opponent, 1 extra here. 1 build in temple, 2 hunters still here. There are going to be actually 2 hunters all the way to the top. So far it seems to me that this is fairly similar build order, pretty much the same. Pretty much the same altogether, as this is gonna be right now Prometheus in at 6%, and for the opponent literally the same. They're gonna be advancing at absolutely the same time. Seems like the same efficiency is in, but you can see already the score is slightly different by a few points. That Mikahei apparently was a bit more efficient at the early stages of the game, but that really won't be making all that much of a difference in there, as that... Okay, so Mikahei is actually going that aggressively into it, even transforming into Oracle Hero. Maybe that is actually why he's leading on the score. No, I don't exactly think this is gonna be all that worth it. But it's kind of nice to be seeing something different here. Something different than some standard gameplay that we see all the time. So yeah, well, this is gonna be a congregation of oracles. Even okay, Mika is actually going with more oracles in here. He's just spamming oracles. Gonna be right now giving himself, no, spamming 1 extra. Of course, waiting for the valor, both of them at the same time. It's gonna be battle of the oracles. Now, the really fighting could be actually important right now. So 1 and 2. Hiding everything in the manor. Doesn't want to be fighting. I kind of wonder why. I actually think that with proper micro and the Voobly fighting, you could be easily destroying him right there. But he's probably right now afraid about the fact that Mikahe is gonna be trying to basically just lure the villagers away if they were attacking and make them not gather. So I think that's actually the case. And why he didn't want to be engaged in that fully, as Prometheans are already on their way. One Oracle still kinda hiding for some reason. For Squash. Not sure if he forgot or if it's unintentional. Right about now, this is probably gonna be all about who's gonna be having more balls. And apparently with the Murmills and already medium Turmas coming forward, it's gonna be right now end for Mikahe, who's right now gonna be having the same military academic counter barracks, but obviously since he has to be walking all the way from his base, it's gonna be taking a long time for him, and therefore there should be at least a bit of a respite, at least for the time being. Yeah, well, so that was kind of interesting attempt. It maybe did cost a few seconds of delay for the villages on Squash, but otherwise the spent resources extra for Mikahe, not entirely certain if it's gonna be exactly paying off. If maybe he didn't lose more resources through that, then Squash lost because of not gathering. Not entirely certain. Could be somewhere comparable. Maybe could be. Who knows? A Squash is gonna be, of course, running around trying to find the enemy somewhere on the hunt, maybe on the gold. Well, the hunt is on the right flank, and it's apparently gonna be well guarded by Mike. There is obviously a bit of an advantage for the red player, because he can basically both continue attacking and also defending at pretty much the same part of the map, which could be the same for Squash. And well, Squash is the one who wants to be winning in the game, and so he's playing a bit more actively. Okay, let's check the upgrade. So far, nothing in there. Where is the economical guild? No upgrades into the economy. And already investing into the farm. That's 200 wood quite early. That's actually quite early investment at this point. His opponent is so far not doing anything like that. He's still having at least a few berries. So that might be a significant difference in that between the players. It might be allowing Squash to do a bit more into the military. But for the time being, because a bit later it could be paying off. Squash will have to invest into it anyway. And in the end, Mikahe might be just a bit more efficient through that. But that depends if he's gonna be having plow, and he doesn't. So therefore, maybe he could have been stuck a bit longer on the goats. But he really doesn't want to be probably doing that, as apparently all his hunt is already gone elsewhere. And he doesn't want to be all that reliant on the hunt that is potentially unsafe and might be getting raided. So is something being researched right now? Nothing at all. As the army is definitely getting stronger for Squash. For Mikahe though as well. I can see so far 2 Prometheans. Okay, Squash is going a whole lot more heavy on the Prometheans. And even another one is coming. That seems like maybe only auto queue. Is it an auto queue? Let's check. Yeah. He's having auto queue on the Prometheans, whereas Mikahe isn't. So this is gonna be actually an interesting battle of all the heroes and who's gonna be able to kill them better. Because so far, Mikahe doesn't have all that many. He's having a few Turmas in there and some Oracles which should be really dying fairly quickly. They have right now a few Shockwaves which probably should be maybe used here. It's a kind of good placement. Maybe right now, no, well, the heroes wouldn't really help with them all that much. Yes, they're obviously not affected by it. Okay, this is quite an important battle and quite a big one. So far it seems to me that blue is slightly winning because of the Prometheans, because I don't see all that much of a micro-win by Mikahe on them. It's kind of like randomly fighting around here. But right about now, it's really looking quite convincingly for blue. Seems like actually those Prometheans were quite a good decision, because they were solid enough tanks. And Mikahe unfortunately wasn't able to get there. So yeah, well, there we go. It's gonna be a GG. And after losing such an important battle, that's kind of inevitable where he's gonna be heading. And that is the victory for Squash. So he is up 4-0. Yeah, I think 4-0. It was the 4th game. Nice. Nice battle indeed in the end. Let's check if there's a kind of significant difference somewhere. 200 difference here on gold for Squash. Pretty much the same account, they just had a bit different distribution. You can see that Squash was gathering more gold, whereas Mikahe more food. 1 villager difference, it seems. Absolutely the same military count. Literally the same military count. But yeah, different unit composition, different usage. And that's how you make victory. Yeah, those Prometheans, we exactly kind of noticed them and talked about it, that they were actually the difference. And they soaked up a lot of damage. Especially I'm thinking from the Murmilos there, because they were in the thick of the fight. And you unfortunately didn't have enough heroes for that. Yeah, well, that happens, and in those mirrors, that happens even more, obviously. Same advance time as we have seen, research count, better for squash. So what did he get extra? Oh, he got husbandry. He got husbandry. Opponent didn't have that. But it was at the very end. It was at the very end. Getting at least a bit of extra food from the goatees, why not? Prometheans, you can see that Mikhail didn't have all that lower amount of them. Interestingly, one switch in here had one more Murmilo in there. But in the important battle, that was probably what tilted the balance. You can see the population limit slightly similar. You can see there was a bit of a hiccup for Mikhail in here, as he was a bit lower, or a bit slower getting the extra villager up there. I don't think he actually lost the citizen, I don't think so. The region wasn't really all that bad. So probably just decided to be going more into the military rather than into another villager at one point. And you can see that's exactly the difference here. Rather, exactly the difference here. It's in the population limit. I was thinking that I was actually looking at civilians. No, that is it. That is still actually the same dent, even though I was looking at the wrong graph. I was commentating somehow on the kind of like the correct thing. Yeah, well, a bit of luck. And in the military, there, Mikhail was just a bit slower, or lower on a few units. But more than anything, the Prometheans definitely did make the fateful decision. And the problem with the Prometheans is that once you are having 4 of them, even if you kill them, you suddenly have 2 new units in there. And even though they are not extremely strong, they still eat up some damage. So instead of, when you are basically having 4 versus 1 Promethean, in effect, you are having basically 12 versus 3. That's, in my opinion, also part of the equation here that needs to be taken into account. Well, anyway, GG. Nice little match. And okay, that's going to be it. They apparently already ended, so we're gonna be ending as well. So thank you very much for watching today. I hope that you enjoyed a few of those games. There weren't as many as we potentially thought that it could be, with those 5 restores at the start. Or other restores, well, kind of attempts to start the game altogether. So I hope that you enjoyed, well, even those. That was at least a bit of a build order training for the players in there. You're gonna be having, of course, more Age of Mythology next week after 17 GMT. That's every Wednesday. And otherwise, if you're interested in some more streams, you can find the schedule below. And we're gonna be having tomorrow. We're gonna be continuing the latest DLC for Kingdom Come Deliverance, Woman's Slot. This time we're gonna be playing as Henry and solving the story of Johanka. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. It's probably gonna be more than one session. It should be a longer one than Theresa last time. So if you're interested in RPGs, it's gonna be tomorrow after 17 GMT, and on Monday after 20 GMT. We have finished the mission of Settlers this week. It was quite a long one. And I'm thinking we might be starting a new game. Maybe it's going to be Dune if I get it working. I hope that I will. That's so far the game that I'm hoping to play on Monday. If not, we're going to be continuing with more Settlers, but I hope for a new game already. We'll see. But in the meantime, if you are interested in some Age of Mythology things, then obviously RTS-Sanctuary.com, the home since 2003 already. So the whole history of the game, including the knowledge of like strategy guides and anything like that, is to be found there, complete with recorded games of experts of all eras, be it current or the past. So if you're interested in that, you definitely can find a lot of things in there, or just basically chat with us and with the community and see what is going on in there with that in mind. Then there is for scenarios and mods, Age of Mythology Heaven. That's a very good spot for the creative minds in the community. And then it's gonna be Age of Mythology Reddit / Age of Mythology. And these games have been played on Voobly, The best place for Age of Mythology and Age of Empires multiplayer, and using Voobly balance patch 3.0, as you could have seen, making plenty of gods viable and hopefully more fun for the players. So far it seems like that seems to be fulfilling that purpose. But if you want to be playing the original game, no problem without the patch. That's also available on Voobly. This patch is not compulsory or anything, and we regularly see players enjoying just the standards. For example, for CS, you kind of need to be having the standard so that it's not entirely going out of whack. You can be enjoying the game, even the vanilla, here as however you please. So I'm guessing that's going to be it. There are going to be more Age of Mythology streams across the weekend at RTS League, as we have started with the first round of Crown League Season 30. So it's the 30th season and edition already, running already for 16 years. So quite a long-term competition yet again. And therefore that's going to be at twitch.tv/RTS League, and you can be finding a bit more information in !RTSL if you are so like-minded. And there are also some other commands in the title of the stream if you are interested in those. Like, for example, Discord and whatever like that, if you are into those. But anyway, that's going to be it for today. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for the follows at the end, Apocalyptic and Skopos. And I hope that I'm going to be seeing you on some other game. I've been Blackadder at Blackadder's Place, and see you later.